Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas announced this morning as well. Thoughts on that?
Man, that's a tough fight, you know, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, you know, that he have in himself.
It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. This is a really good fight. And I don't know that Zayas has reached his peak yet. So, you know, are you risking him not reaching his peak if Ennis, you know, hurts him and changes him, you know? It's another thing. You're taking a chance here with Zayas. But Zayas is a hungry guy. I've always known that Zayas, you know, lives this life and, you know, has very lofty goals.
Like, why do you think people were so skeptical of it?
I'm not sure. You know, maybe because he a young champion. He could have went a different route. You know, it took an easier fight. You know, to be real, at 154, I'm the biggest name at 154, and everybody know that. I'm the biggest name at 154, and everybody know they're gonna make the most money fighting me, straight like that.
Terence Crawford feels that a possible showdown between Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas is among the most demanding fights boxing can offer right now. While he highly values Xander's natural gifts, sharp ring IQ, and complete skill set, he also believes the opportunity.
He's ready to go make history for his country, and he's gonna do real well in that fight. You know, I just think, you know, right now, you know, it's a little bit too early for him.
Boots Ennis explains that his entire career has been built around chasing champions and title holders. While he openly recognizes Xander's talent, potential, and promising future, he draws a clear line between a rising contender and a proven champion. Ennis makes it known that his mission has
Hey man, about to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up. Man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. Like this boxing game mine, straight like that.
Now, the bout with Virgil Ortiz looked like it was done, and then of course, you know, the legal stuff happened. You know, that had nothing to do with you.
Right.
But you always said that you were going to give the fans the Virgil fight, and if that didn't happen, right back to the mission, and the mission was the belts. Yep. So was that why Xander was your first option after Virgil?
Yeah, I mean, well, once we, you know, me and the team sat down, we figured out like, it's, you know, everything falling through, and it's not really gonna happen. I told them, like I told, you know, my team, Matchroom, the Zone, I'm like, yo, go get me Xander. I'm gonna go get me Xander, or go get me somebody with the belts, and that's what they did, you know, and I'm glad they did that, and I'm excited.
Out that he signed a contract to fight. No one knows who the opponent is, but the speculation is it's Boots. How do you see that fight going?
I mean, shoot, it's hard to really go against Boots because on that one was specifically Xander. You know, I feel Xander's still young. You know, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more experience.
Tim Bradley completely rejects the idea that Xander would be an easy assignment for Boots Ennis. In his opinion, anyone making that claim is ignoring several important realities. Bradley highlights the challenges Boots faced against Karen Chikadzian's technical approach.
And a lot of weird stuff, man, popping up, man, on this Boots and Xander. You know, a lot of people don't realize and understand what the hell they talking about. They thinking that this fight gonna be a slam dunk for freaking Boots Ennis. You crazy. You crazy if you think this fight gonna be a slam dunk for him. You know, who was the last technical guy that Boots fought, man? Karen? Come on, man. He getting in there with a young gun, man, just as hungry and energetic as he is. You understand that? Bigger than he is. Probably just as strong as he is. High boxing IQ, just as well as he does. You know, got skills, good counterpuncher, good legs, good movement. Throws in bunches, got a left hook. Which is the punch that Boots get hit with.
Terence Crawford also shares a powerful lesson about success, explaining that the people who continue moving forward through adversity are often the ones who eventually achieve their goals. He emphasizes that boxing is not only a physical contest but also a mental battle that rewards persistence.
Working every day from start to finish and listening and studying and doing everything that he have to do is going to be the one that rises every single time.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Crawford delivers advice directly connected to preparation. He encourages Xander to embrace uncomfortable situations during sparring rather than avoid them. According to Crawford, true improvement happens when a fighter willingly places himself.
Start sparring, work on things that you don't like to do. You know, get comfortable doing things that you don't like to do and try things. You know, everybody come and spar and they do the same thing over and over and over. And then they wonder why they don't get better.
That's right.
You know, or they fight the same way. That works on this level, but when you get to the elite level, you're gonna have to pull everything.
Xander Zayas confidently declares that he sees himself as the best fighter in the sport, and because of that belief, he feels a responsibility to challenge the strongest competition available. His mindset reflects complete confidence and an unwavering commitment to proving him.
Time. Thank you for being here. Man, this everybody, like you said, is busting. I feel like this is the biggest fight of 2026 thus far. And it was important for me because for me to say that I'm the best, I gotta face the best. And Jaron Ennis is one of the best names in the division, you know, alongside other fighters and myself. So come June 27th, I will claim why I'm the best 154-pounder in the world.
And like you said, everyone is buzzing, everyone's talking about it. Jaron Ennis himself, he's giving you immense credit, and rightfully so, for taking this fight when you had the leverage to call the shots and choose any route you preferred.
Yeah.
At the age of 23, what does it speak to you? What does it speak for you as the fighter you are?
Man, I feel like a lot of people will love or love to be average.
Xander Zayas continues by speaking passionately about the legacy he wants to leave behind throughout his career. He explains that his ambitions reach far beyond simply collecting victories or winning championship belts. For him, the
biggest name is the biggest test, and I'm gonna write history one more time. That's what it's all about. That's what you're in the sport of boxing for. It's easy to just get complacent and just fight old names or old guys that were champion 3-4 years ago, or just fight an easy fight that you know you could win and get easy money. But when everything is on the line, when a lot of people is doubting you, that's when the stakes are high. That's when you got to perform, and that's where I perform at my best.
And it appears this fight was made without a hitch, fairly simple behind the scenes, which was a far different case than what Ennis experienced negotiating with Virgil. Why do you think that was the case, and what do you make of this?
Like you said, it was an easy negotiation. I feel like we both wanted to fight. There are no buts. There's no what ifs. We both want to fight. Let's make it happen.
Winky Wright believes a battle between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis would deliver exactly the type of excitement boxing needs right now. In his view, the division is packed with talented fighters, making every major matchup significant.
Looks like Xander and Boots are going to fight. What are your thoughts on that fight?
It's gonna be a good fight, man. The division looking good right now, you know, and I just want to see all the fighters fight each other, man. The best need to fight the best. That's what's gonna bring the fans to boxing, and you know, you can only be great by beating somebody great. You know what I'm saying? You can have a bunch of wins with no great win. You're just a good fighter, but you want to be great, you need to beat another great fighter. So they got the opportunity, and I hope they do it.
What are your thoughts on, if you know about it, the Virgil situation? Virgil Ortiz, him and Golden Boy have kind of like a lawsuit going on against one another. Well, Virgil put the lawsuit out for Golden Boy. Now he's sitting on the sideline waiting for arbitration. Do you think it was right of Xander to step in and say, you know what, I'll take on Boots since you're going to be sidelined for a bit?
I had nothing. I don't know about it. You know, tell you the truth. You just telling me new. But it's good that he stepped in and we can get a fight going. But like
Trainer Bozy Ennis acknowledges that Xander remains a young fighter with plenty of room to improve, but he also reminds people not to ignore what the young champion has already accomplished. Holding multiple championship belts at such an early stage.
Rated them both slightly above Xander, but Xander has 2 belts. So you can't go wrong with 2 belts because Ortiz and Boots don't have belts at 54. I think that Boots and Virgil Ortiz styles clash better. That would have been like a barn burner, a war, like high contact war. I think that Xander is going to try to box and take some of the violence out of the fight. So I think it's a different kind of fight. You know what I mean? To be honest, I think it's a different type.
Chris Mannix explains that if there is one fighter who has consistently pushed for this matchup, it is Xander Zayas. According to Mannix, Xander has repeatedly communicated his intentions to promoters, managers, and everyone involved in making major fights happen. He has made it clear that he wants Boots Ennis as his next big challenge and deserves considerable credit for helping move conversations forward. The bigger question, however, is why he is pursuing the fight so aggressively. Mannix believes the answer comes down to ambition and opportunity. Similar to someone working hard to advance their future through education or career growth, Xander sees this fight as a chance to elevate his status. Boxing, however, demands sacrifice, risk, and relentless effort. Even with championship belts already around his waist,
that deserves the most credit for this fight being at the stage that it's at. So the question I have is why? Why do you think that Zayas is pushing so hard to get this fight over the finish line?
Well, I'm going to put it in terms that you can understand because,
Is there really a need to just go backhanded?
No. This is actually a compliment.
Is there really a need?
This is actually a compliment. Why did you want to bet? Why did you want to attend one of the best colleges in the world?
Good education.
Great education, yes. Correct? All right. So, can education feed your family? You want a great job afterwards.
Correct.
So, what puts you in the position for a great job to make great money?
Experience.
A great education, Mannix.
I mean, they're sort of the same thing, right? Experience.
No. Experience is costs way more blood than education.
Experience, I'd argue, not to get too deep in the weeds, experience is way more important for job search than education.
Nowadays, but
20
years ago when you were wearing glasses.
No.
At only 23 years old, Xander has already reached financial milestones that many fighters spend years chasing. Despite earning seven-figure purses, he remains determined to take his career to even greater heights. His goal is to secure significantly larger paydays, potentially reaching the multi-million-dollar level. With major investments pouring into boxing, Saudi-backed events transforming the landscape, and powerful organizations continuing to reshape the business side of the sport, Xander wants to position himself among the industry's biggest earners. For him, the journey is no longer solely about collecting championships. It is also about building a lasting legacy.
Xander Zayas already got those belts. Now he wants to get paid. To answer your question, he wants money. He realizes that those belts against, I don't even know these guys' names, Abbas Baru and Perez, these guys aren't champions. They're not names. They're not going to get you the paydays that you want. I mean, I would think that he's making mid six figures as a champion.
Yeah, he probably topped $1 million for the last fight.
I will be surprised. You need to look into that.
He topped $1 million in the last fight.
Maybe top the million. Okay,
I'm telling you, he topped $1 million.
Okay, well, good for him. I'm proud of Zayas. For a 23-year-old kid hitting seven figures, that's incredible. But he wants to touch $2-3 million paydays, and with all the money being distributed right now, with all these big players from Saudi to Zuffa to the zone deals and everything else, he wants in on the money. He wants in on the prize, man, because he already got the belts. The belts are great. He's going down in history as a unified champion. Now let's make some championship money that can last me and mine's a life.
Paulie Malignaggi views this matchup as a tremendous opportunity for Xander Zayas during a critical stage of his development. He believes the timing could not be much better for the young fighter to prove exactly where he stands among boxing's rising stars. According to Paulie, facing an opponent of Boots Ennis's caliber will reveal whether Xander is ready for the brightest spotlight and the toughest challenges available. At the same time, Malignaggi points out that the fight also provides important benefits for Boots. Xander is a young champion with growing popularity and increasing visibility, making him an attractive opponent from
Zayas Boots announced today. Any thoughts on that?
For sure,
one?
huh?
Yeah,
wow.
Announced this morning, yeah.
I'll tell you, man, that was the zone really putting their head in the game right away, man. I did not think that Zayas fight with Ennis could be made so quickly. I thought, especially from the top rank perspective, you could play with a couple of years still for Zayas to develop into his prime, while Ennis maybe needs it right now. And so the fight being made, I think, is more advantageous to Ennis, I think, because with Zayas, when you have a marketable fighter like that, you can take your time. And as to when, Canelo was the king of this, it's not who you fight, it's when you fight them. You fight them when they're not so much at their best, so to speak. So for Zayas to take on Ennis right now, when Ennis has been pretty much shrieking, that's a credit to Zayas, and it's a credit to Top Rank for having faith in their guy, but it's a tough fight. This is a really good.
Greg Hackett provides a thoughtful and detailed breakdown of the highly anticipated showdown between Xander Zayas and Jaron "Boots" Ennis, a fight scheduled to take place on June 27th in New York City. Hackett points out that the 154-pound division is currently one of the most competitive weight classes in boxing, featuring several elite fighters who all have legitimate claims to being among the very best. He compares the situation to a tightly contested race where multiple champions and contenders are separated by only the narrowest margins. In his opinion, Xander Zayas has built an impressive resume and may already own one of the division's signature victories, particularly because of the dominant manner in which he handled previous opposition. Hackett also references recent upsets throughout the sport.
So now we see that Xander is fighting Boots June 27th. Love to get your reaction on that. What do you think about the winner, leading up to a Fundora fight, but just the fight itself as well?
So what's the first question? Who the best at 54?
Who do you think is the best at 54? And then, what do you think about June 27th in New York City?
I think it's a three-way tie out of all the champions. You know why I say that? Wow. Who got the best win out of all them guys?
At 54, I would say Xander.
Xander got the best win?
Yeah.
And who would that win be?
I think Abbas beating Tellis was big. And then him beating Abbas, I think that was huge. Obviously him being 23, you wanting this fight. Boots, only has one fight really at 54, fighting Lema. So this is a big guy, can box. What do you see in the fight?
It's gonna come down to IQ. It's gonna come down to conditioning. It's gonna come down to pressure. It's gonna come down to what Xander is willing to go through. Xander is the champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boots is hungry because he want that respect and he want those titles. Xander got to figure out how far he willing to go. I think he's willing to go there because what he went through with Abbas was a good tangle up. You know what I mean? That was a good little mix. But this time you won't be fighting Abbas. But at the same time, Boots, this be his first joint where he got somebody.
Last failed negotiation with Boots. We don't care. We already know the Turkey Al-Sheikh deal, and it didn't work back then. Boots elected to stay at 147. But what we also know is he's now at 54. He's coming off a first-round knockout with Lima, a.k.a. Lima Bean. You had like a second-round knockout with Lubin, and then he hopped up in that ring. Hop up out the bed, right? He hopped up in that ring and said, I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you for what your dad say, for what Rick, your manager, say, what Oscar say, me and you, right? And it could have been that. But you didn't like the deal from Oscar.